Hello, YouTube. Hi, guys. Me again. I think my second upload in 2 days, which is quite a rarity for me, considering that I've been off YouTube for about about a year now. But yeah, I got an email off them saying that they're stopping my monetization due to lack of activity. I need 1,000 subscribers. I need 4,000 hours of watch time. I'm losing my YouTube partnership. So I don't know. I think this is my like mini protest in response to that, just to get back on with it. Um, so this is just a little vid, basically, just to explain what's been happening recently, um, and just to raise awareness as well, because I think it's a topic. Just spit all over the camera, why don't you? I think it's a topic that does need to be addressed and talked about, because it's more of a closed subject, or not something that people talk about, all the time. It is like very rarely you hear about it. And it's the topic of male breast cancer. I know that in females with women, it's more associated to them. But men do actually get breast cancer, believe it or not. And about a week ago, I just felt this funny thing on my breast, my left breast, of all places, like a little bump, a little lump. Um, so I took off my top, had a look, I thought, wow, it's in a really, really strange place. And it was like this spot. And it was only small, so I thought nothing about it. I thought, it'll probably be gone tomorrow. But then it grew and got a little bit bigger within like the next day and the day after that. I was like, what's going on here? So I thought, well, I'm just gonna see if it goes, because it could just be a spot or something. But I thought, well, this is a bit weird because it's in like the wrong place. You don't tend to. Well, I don't know. I've never had a spot on my breast. Don't know how many men or boys out there get spots on their breast, but I don't. So it was a first for me. And about 3 days after I spotted it, I told my mum, and she was like, "Oh, breast cancer's, it's not breast cancer. Breast cancer's really, really rare in men. Like 1 in 1.5 million get it or something, some ridiculous ratio." And so I thought, she was like, "Well, you need to go to the doctors anyway, just to get it checked out." So obviously it's been playing on my mind since I told her, and I was, been keeping an eye on it, observing it, and lo and behold, it started to flake, like like you get a little bit of a flake over a spot sometimes, and I thought, well, this is really weird now. So I thought, okay, so I was in work today, and I knew that I had to book an appointment, but for my doctors, but I don't like to take time off work, especially for like medical things at this time of the year. And with everything that's happening, they do need me, considering that our contract's coming to an end. But anyway, I thought, no, put your health first before you work. So I phoned them on my lunch break, and the lady answered the phone, the receptionist, and I was like, "Oh, hello, can I make an appointment as soon as possible to see the doctor, please?" And she was like, "Well, the nearest appointment slot is going to be Monday next week. What day are we today? Wednesday." So I was like, "Yeah, fine, okay, yeah, I'll just book that time slot." And then I thought, well, just before I let you go, can I just let you know why I need to see the doctor? I said, "I know that you might not be medically trained." But I told her, I said, "Well, I found a lump on my breast. I know it's quite rare. It's probably something or nothing." She was like, "Actually, we want to see you today, 5 o'clock." So I was like, "Okay, okay, yeah, okay, fine." Because I was in work at the time, so obviously I had a word with my manager. I said, "Look, I've got an emergency doctor's appointment. They want to see me." So they gave me the time off. I left work early, um, went straight to the doctors, and whilst I'm sat in there, I'm looking to the left, like I was sat right next to a table, and there's all of these breast cancer leaflets, and it was all like how to check your breasts whilst you're on the menopause. If you're experiencing your period, you still need to check your breasts. And all of the documentation, all of the literature, it was all for women. There was nothing for men. And I was sat right next to this thing, and it was like breast screening, cancer screening for breasts for women, women this, women that. And I was like, well, I'm here on the basis that I'm, a male, not a female. And they've got all of this help, which is really helpful for, the women, that they need that help and support, that information. But there was nothing for men, absolutely nothing in there. So I thought, okay, it's what it is. But I was sat there paranoid thinking, wow, women do get all of this help and support, and information, all of this education basically about how to check your breasts and this, that, and the other, and lumps and bumps. But there was nothing for men. I was like, okay, well, that's a bit probably discriminatory because, men do get breast cancer. And I was sat there waiting to see my doctor thinking, oh my God, by the time I was all on my own, I was thinking, gosh, by the time I see this doctor, I might be leaving the room with a diagnosis of breast cancer. So I was really, really, really nervous. Like, I didn't, I wasn't on the point of crying, but I was really nervous all day just thinking about it because you don't know. I'm not medically trained. That's what doctors do. They're the ones that, know what to spot, where to look. They're the ones that are able to give a clinical diagnosis, etc. So lo and behold, obviously I get the call by Byron, can you come into this room? So I get into the room now, the doctor's there. So I said, oh, it's probably something or nothing. She's like, oh, well, take your top off, let's have a look. So she looked at it and she went, it's nothing to worry about. It's just a blind boil. I was like, a blind boil? I mean, I've heard of boils, but I've never heard of a blind boil. I was like, well, what's a blind boil? She went, it's a boil that's not actually fully developed as yet. It's not developed ahead. It's just it's growing basically. It might develop a head and pop. But she was like, it's not breast cancer. It's not anything to worry about. It's literally just a spot on my tit. I was so relieved. Like, literally, I was like, I could actually breathe. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I just couldn't believe it. So she prescribed me some antibiotic ointment. She said, I've got to put this cream on 4 times a day, and it should actually, it might develop a head and it might start to grow once I put this ointment on. But she said if it doesn't go, you've just got to apply more of this cream. So I left the doctor's. I could actually breathe. I was smiling when I left. Do you know what I mean? Considering that I was nearly crying when I went. And yeah, so I've not picked up the cream as yet. I need to get it tomorrow. But yeah, it was something and nothing. But I literally left there thinking, do you know what? As lucky as I am, I could have actually have had it. So the point I'm trying to make is that, is that even though women do get breast cancer, it's very rare in men, but a certain percentage of men do actually get it. And from all of the stuff in the literature that I did read upon myself, online, I Googled it, and they were saying, that a lot of men don't go for health checks. They think it's something or nothing. They believe that only women get it. Like testicular cancer is more of a cancer that men would get, on the genitals, so to speak, instead of actually breast cancer. Obviously, women can't get that because they don't have the organs, so to speak. But yeah, I was thinking, that considering that there was all of those, the lack of information, the lack of leaflets, the lack of information. I had to go away and Google it all myself because there was nothing actually in the doctor's surgery that suggested or told me, what to look out for, or, what the rates are, the frequency rates are, how it's treated. I went in there blind, basically, worried out of my skin. And I think I would have got a little bit more reassurance had there been actually some literature in the surgery that not only talked about women, screening, because it is really important. So many women do, get breast cancer, they die of breast cancer. I've got cousins who go on breast cancer charity runs, and they actually raise a lot of funds and charity money for women, for cancer research and things like that. So I think women, do deserve the acknowledgement, the education. It is, very important for women to check those types of things. But equally on the same page, it's also very important for men to do it. I was very, very lucky today, but who's to say that, Tom down the road at number 59, he might have got a diagnosis for breast cancer, and he could have been the one leaving that surgery, you know, with a diagnosis. I was lucky, I was one of the lucky ones, whereas so many people are not just, men, but women as well. Some women don't check them and, there's misdiagnosis or they don't do the relevant checks. It's really, really important that you do, because they say that from the information that I was reading, not many people are familiar that, that your breasts basically are a very sensitive part of your body that should not be developing lumps, bumps, and sores or, leakages or stuff like that. That's common symptoms of like breast cancer. That's like the starting signs. And the information that I did read said, that the earlier you get it checked out, the earlier treatment can start, the better chance you've got of recovering from it, because they'll be able to, do chemotherapy, radiotherapy. There's all types of things that they can do, but it's always better to get checked early. Because I've got friends who've had, like um mastectomies and stuff like that, and I know, not personally, but I do know of friends who've got friends who've had to live with like, girls, females who've had to have, like a fake breast and stuff put in just for cosmetic purposes, but they've beaten the cancer. A lot of the work that I do is speaking with cancer victims, that's my job. Um, but the nature of it doesn't allow me to actually talk about it in that sense, because it's like confidential medical information. But it was like reality hitting home. I was like, oh my God, so my message out there to all of you is, to everyone, men, female, whatever you are, transgender, gender neutrals, the, well, all of the, whatever you are, just keep an eye on yourself, make sure that you give your body a good health check from time to time, because I don't know how long that thing was on my breast. I really don't know. The doctor asked me today, and I was like, I spotted about, 4 days ago, but I don't know how long it had been there until I looked, because it's not a place that you look, naturally. So yeah, it's just my message, just keep an eye on yourself, make sure you get regular checkups, make sure that you consult with your doctor and get regular health checks, people, because you never know, from one day to the next, you could be here today, gone tomorrow. Um, so yeah, I do feel, I lost my birth mum to cancer, not breast cancer. Um, but I know, the impact that cancer can have on individuals and families. We lose so many people to it. It's a horrible, horrible disease. I only hope and pray for a miracle that one day someone will actually find a cure for it. I think humanity as a whole, what century are we in now? Do you know what I mean? I'm sure we can find a cure for it, even if it's with nanotechnology, DNA technology. There must be something that can be done to cure cancer. Um, so yeah, that was just my message. So keep an eye on yourselves, people, and I'll be back on soon. Bye bye.